Why do you have so many images? It's amazing because a lot of people, and they're also very well organized.
My mother. She's very organized, and she maintains all the photos. Although she did give me this book as a keepsake of her and my father's wedding. My godfather was in the military with my father, and my father wasn't a big dater. So my godfather tried to help him out, introduce him to some women, and introduced 3 women to him at a party. And he was interested in another lady, but my mother made sure to let him know that she was interested in him.
And what year was this wedding?
1964.
Where?
Washington, D.C.
Wow.
She's a native Washingtonian.
And your dad?
Is from New York.
Was your father in the military?
Yes, he went into the military, and he, after that, went to MIT. Just some shots in front of the house with my father and his cousins. And there was another shot here with both my grandmother and my grandfather in front of the house. There's the image of my grandmother and my grandfather in front of the house that I was speaking of that he built and moved the family from New York City.
Is she grandmother a hunter? Why does she have a gun?
Well, I think back then it was a lot more rural, so they just had it as protection. And then this is an interesting photo because this is them on the beach here in the D.C. area.
Oh.
That's my mother right there and her brother.
Wow.
That's my Aunt Henrietta, and this is her when she was a child. I just recently read that she indicated, I think up till 6th grade it was segregated. Then 6th grade it was an integrated school system back then in the 1920s.
In Jersey?
Yes.
Whose images or stories have inspired you?
I'd say my grandmother, who is my mother's mother. And she was also a single mother raising 2 children. Her husband died when the children were young. And she was a very giving person, always giving back to the community, always inviting others into her home. This is a picture of my mother and my grandmother on my mother's 45th birthday. Lots of parties in my grandmother's basement and lots of good food, which I still miss. Although the 40 pounds heavier I'd probably be doesn't. Because that's just how good her cooking was.
Wow. It's really amazing at cooking.
She was one of those cooks that just went in the kitchen and, you know, picked the seasonings, and there was no writing down, so I wish we knew exactly what some of those recipes were that she had. She was just a really good cook. We were there every weekend. We lived in Silver Spring, Maryland, so on the weekends we would go to my grandmother's, you know, to spend time with her, and she spoiled us, like most grandmothers do. Whenever you see her photos, there's a certain regalness to her, and you know, if I could be half of the person that she is, I think that, you know, I've succeeded in life just based on the type of person that she was. So she means a lot to me. It's a lot of joy thinking about her and all the people that she would bring in her home and around her table, and it's just a lot of good memories. I think that being able to go back and actually, we hear the stories, you know, my father talks about the family and, you know, his growing up in New York City, and it brings the story to life when you actually see the pictures and the images. I never got to meet my grandmother. I never obviously met my great-grandmother, so seeing those pictures and seeing how strong they were as women, I think they're stoic and they come through to life in the photos, and it actually probably makes it more more realistic as to why I am who I am by seeing those images and seeing the people and who they were.